Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I have some life updates. First of all, I left the cat sit. I'm now in a sublet where I get to view the lovely rooftops of Paris outside this window. One of the cool things about living this way is I'm really collecting data for, I guess, my ideal home, right? And one of the things that maybe I had it in like a passing thought, but I never thought too much about was when you are up higher, like you get this gorgeous view. So at night, I get to see the stars, the sky on a clear day. In the morning, the sun just like beams open across all of these gorgeous rooftops. I mean, it's really, really divine. And it's something that I didn't realize I really value and want more of, you know? So I'm here for a couple days, and then I head to another sublet for the rest of the month, and then, where am I headed? I'm going to London, baby! London, 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 London. I'm going to London, 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 London. I'm going for the entire month, all the way until after the new year, until January 4th or 5th or something like that. I'm going to be cat sitting. How freaking cool is that? I did it last year and I really, really loved it. London, to me, during the holidays is magical. It is so fun. First of all, it's similar to New York in a lot of ways, where New York is also magical during the holidays because they just really, as the kids are saying, really are giving, right? During the holidays. Like every single place is like wrapped up in red, like velvety ribbons, and there's like bells everywhere, and there's music, and there's just this like general overall energy of, I don't know, I don't know if it's happiness, I don't know if it's capitalism, but I think everywhere you go, there's just like happy people walking around. It's just really lovely. Like Harrods, I remember like going inside Harrods and like seeing like all the windows. That's what it is. Something they don't do here in Paris is it's not a capitalist society. Even though they're starting to become a little bit more every year. So like the windows, you have to go to specific shopping centers to see the windows, but they're not that spectacular. It's just not the same. It's not at the level of London and New York. So I'm going next month. I will be here until I think the 3rd of December, and then I'm taking that Eurostar, baby, which it's so crazy that in 2.5 hours, I can be in a totally different country. Whereas like if I was still living in LA, you can spend 2.5 hours stuck in traffic on the 405. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I love living in Europe and just the access to travel. And now, I don't know, I feel as though, well, there's a couple things. Number one, I'm going to say it. Are you ready? My visa as a resident here in France, my visa is expiring next month. So that means after it expires, I can no longer come back here and live here the way that I have been. I have to adhere to the I think it's Schengen I'm probably mispronouncing it. Schengen visa, which is like you have 90 days in the EU before you have to go back to another country. So there's a couple of things I want to say about this. First of all, I was expecting last time, because I am on this visa that you have to renew it every year, and I was expecting my visa to expire at the beginning of this year. But then, I don't know, I think I mentioned this in one of my videos, the miraculous, incredible, miracle surprise to me was when I went to pick up my visa, which was supposed to expire in February, they gave me an extra 11 months, which was like, I was so just blown away and excited. And so now, December, I think 8th is when it expires. So I have a couple of feelings about it. Number one, I've had a few friends say, oh, you should try to switch. You should try to like a lot of doing to keep myself here. And I thought to myself, this journey is about being in full acceptance in full surrender to what life is yielding to me. And if my time in Paris in this way is coming to an end, so be it. I have moved through the emotions of, I guess, letting this part of this journey of mine close in terms of living here permanently in the way that I have. I feel as though I'm not as attached to Paris as when I first arrived. I mean, I feel like I've grown leaps and bounds, obviously, because when I first moved here, I mean, it's hard to remember what I was thinking, honestly, because I've been so in a different mindset and just reprogramming so many things that the only thing I remember was when I decided to take this journey of surrender, which was maybe it was 3 or 4 months into my life here. Something happens when one of your dreams comes true, right? You expand, you get so excited. And we'll even go back to like when I first found out I was going to move. It was like so excitement, fear, la, 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 la. You get here, you show up, you get your apartment, you get your bank account, you get like moving and grooving, things are happening, you're meeting people. And then you start to contract again back to maybe that old who you are, who you once were from the past, who's saying, okay, well, we did that, so now what? And it's interesting. That's when I had this curiosity around, is there another way to live? I had experienced so many beautiful synchronicities in my life that I started to go, I think there's another way to live, and I'm going to devote this next chapter of my life to living fully this way, And because I recognized I didn't want to be so attached to what was going on in my life to provide me with joy, happiness, and security, right? I wanted to be able to feel secure no matter what was going on externally. And by doing that, and this is the great paradox to life, by fully accepting what is, that's when flow happens. That's when change can actually occur. And then your dreams can come true in ways that you never would have expected, i.e. me picking up my residence card and getting the additional 11 months for free. Things like that can happen. The surprises, the moments that you could have never predicted, didn't think was possible, tossed it to the side because you were like, there's no way, all of those things can come through when you fully accept. Because think about like a river or a body of water, right? Just that's flowing, like a faucet. You turn it on, flow, flow, flow. If in the faucet you stick a bunch of blocks, and well, these blocks will be, I can't have this. I'm too, who do I think I am? That person, they can't have it, and then I can't have it. All of these limitations are the blocks. So how is life going to flow? How is that body of water or the faucet going to flow when you've got all these blocks in the way? So little by little, you take away these blocks, which I've been doing for the past 3 years, and you embody, because this is a big deal. It's no longer about having the awareness. It's not enough. It's no longer about practicing, doing fearless acts. It's not enough. Embodiment, true embodiment of this knowing of these truths takes repetition all day, every single day. That hyper vigilance of being aware of the programming, knowing when you're getting off, coming back, all of that I've been doing since letting go of my apartment. That's embodiment. That's the only way you fundamentally change, period, full stop. You have to embody. That means it can no longer be a practice once in a while. It can no longer be just something, oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. It is 1,000% commitment to knowing, to becoming, to being, to acting every single moment of every single day, and you do your best. And I guess all of that to say, living in flow means I fully accept when certain things like a visa end or when this time in my life or this chapter of my life is ending. It's okay. Doesn't mean I can't come back. Doesn't mean I can't apply for another visa. I don't know. All I know is I feel like the last thing that I know to do is to take action to try to keep and grasp and pull and try to make something happen in order for me to stay here. Like, that's not what this is about. It's about completely, fully accepting what is, no matter how I feel about it. But because, like I said, I thought this was going to end a long time ago, at the beginning of the year, it feels like I'm okay, you know? And so, yeah, so ending the year, going to London, and then I have some ideas of where I can go next or what excites me, you know, but I'm not going to share them yet because I also am aware that it's not necessarily up to me per se. It's interesting because you kind of have to, I wrote this the other day, which is like, I don't know until I know, if that makes sense. So I don't really take action if I'm unclear where the motivation is coming from, where the energy or the state that I'm in is coming from, because the mind is so sneaky and it will tell me all kinds of things to get me to take some sort of action because it wants to be safe. And it's hard for me to know if that's coming because I'm afraid and I just want to have something. And it's not bad. None of it's bad. None of it's wrong. It's just more and more practicing about knowing the difference inside. So I'll give you an example. I was ending my cat sit and I didn't have a place secured yet from the 13th to the end of the month or until I was leaving for London. And nothing was really sticking. I would respond to people posting on Facebook. Nobody was responding. I was like unsure, like why it was, nothing was really sticking. And this has happened quite a bit since I've been back. I've moved probably 8 or 9 times in just a short amount of time, maybe 2 months. Yeah, it's been a lot. But my point is, nothing was sticking. So a thought dropped in, which was, oh, let me ask this girl who I sublet earlier when I first came back from a month stay in the States. Let me see, because she just goes to her boyfriend's. So maybe I can just like message her and see if I can stay in her place for a few days at least, you know? So I sent her a message. She's like, yeah, sure. So initially we were going to do it until the 16th or something, like just like a couple nights, because I saw a lot of sublets were coming more and more available later in the week. So I'm like, maybe that'll give me a few days. It's a little bit warm now. So I sent her that message. Then I started to hear these voices say, just ask if you can stay longer. Like, just do it. Like, you know, because the mind really wanted to secure something and not think about where am I going to go, because it can cause a lot of stress, right? So I sent her a message, hey, how flexible are you? Is it possible maybe I can stay for 2 weeks, you know? Now, I love the location. I love the height, but this is a 1-room sublet. The couch opens up into a bed. The kitchen's very small. It's fine. I can do it, but did I want to stay here for 2 weeks? Did I want a real apartment? Of course. Like, I wanted something a little bigger, la, la, la. You know, obviously price, location, and space. These are 3 big things, but I would have done it. Anyways, I asked her. She responded, and she said, would it be okay if it's this amount? She upped the amount. She's like, just to make it more worth it for me, since it's a longer period of time, la, la, la. Now, when she did that, that caused me to pause and go, why are you charging me more when I'm going to be staying longer? Like, that's weird. And then the second thing was, it felt familiar of like, oh, am I being taken advantage of? Because she knows that I need this place, so she's going to try to do what she can to get more money out of me. And all of those thoughts, that's fine, but it keeps me separate and it keeps me in the ego. And so I knew this, and I said, okay, this is actually happening for me. I trust all delays. I trust moments of pause. I trust it all. Like, what if it's none of that? What if this is actually here for me? So I told her the truth. I said, let me think on it. I'll get back to you. By saying that, she responds, oh, well, it's okay if, just we'll keep the price that you want. And then I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't say anything. I just said to myself, there's something more here. So as I'm thinking like, okay, this is a pause. This is here for me. Do I really want to be here for 2 weeks? No, that was coming from fear. I just wanted something. It's okay, but maybe now there's an opportunity for something else to come through. I go home. I told her I'll get back to her in a few hours. I get a message from somebody else that I had saw their sublet that was starting on the 18th till the end of the month, cheaper than this place. Better location in the sense that it's 7 minutes walking distance to my storage unit, so I can quickly grab all my stuff to go to London. Literally, it's a 10-minute walk also to the train station, and it's a real 1 bedroom. So it has a real kitchen, a real bed, all the things. And I was like, is there a catch or something, right? So I responded and I was like, listen, I'm interested. How much? And she told me, can I see it tomorrow? Yes. So I told this girl here, I said, listen, I'm just going to stay till the 18th. And this is before I even saw this other place, but I was like, let me just do it, because I knew it was going to work out. So I go to the other place. It's great. It's perfect. Tell her I want it. And then voila, everything works out. So there you go. That's a moment of, in the past, I could have been like, oh, she's trying to take advantage of me. She's just trying to squeeze all this money. All that, right? I could have then changed my mind and said, you know what, I don't need your place anymore, and like been stubborn and try to go somewhere else, right? I did none of that. I used that pause and said, this is here for me. Let me think on this. Is this really what I want? And the answer was no. It was coming from fear, which is fine, because look at how the universe showed me that, right? And then I found something cheaper and it had everything. It clicked all the boxes that I was looking for. And I was like, wow. So that's a perfect example of really using every single moment as an opportunity to say, this is here for me, instead of going into the story and into some sort of scenario that keeps you separate and pushes you away. And you know what else I did? Once I got here and we exchanged the keys and I said, thank you so much. She's like, great. She's a very, very sweet girl. She left. You know what I did? I ended up giving her the amount that she wanted. I paid her the amount that she wanted. I was like, it's not even about the money. It just felt so natural, just as like, thank you. Because honestly, had she not done that, I wouldn't have paused. I wouldn't have received this beautiful, you know what I mean? And it was just, I don't know. I was like, here, you can have what you want. It was also, I think, for me to not look at any of these types of scenarios as this is happening to me, I'm being taken advantage of, like as the victim. It was an empowering way for me to say thank you, because in the end, I got what I wanted. And it was cheaper, which is like so crazy, which is so cool. Anyways, so voila, that is the end of this life update, and I will be talking more probably another time before I leave Paris, and we'll see what happens. Sending love to everyone. Take care.